I'll be sharing with you about wireframes. And so a wireframe is just a prototype of a web page that you want to come up with. So before you can do a wireframe, you need to have already content for your website or web page. You need to have typography, that is, you know the font family you want to use, you know the color of the fonts, you know the color, background color, you have all the images and everything that you need before you can start designing your website. You know the target audience and all that. And so mostly the target audience will be a guide for you to know what layout you're going to come up with. Let's say you have a client who is into clothing lines and is selling clothes that target ladies between 18 to 35 years old. And so when you're coming up with the typography, you need to know what font color or what font style will capture their attention, what will draw them, what sort of content will make them to want to come back and probably do more purchase on that website. Okay. And so before you can even come with the wireframe, once you have the content, the images, the typography, and any other thing that you need to ask your client what are some of the websites in that specific industry which they like. Let's say if they are into clothing line, you could they could provide some of the sites which they like, and you can get the inspiration there. You can visit that site and you can see the pages that they have, several pages for the website, and you can see the layout, you can see the typography, you can see spacing, alignment, and all that. And so you can get your inspiration there. And once you have an inspiration, then you can now be able to come up with a wireframe. So mostly, Wireframe is just a guide of what kind of website or web page you're going to come up with. But most times you might end up with something totally different, because the client, as you continue to develop the website, the client might come up with different suggestions on things that you need to change for their website. And so when you're doing wireframes, you can use online tools, and there are so many online tools. You can use Canva.co. You can use Canva. You can use Photoshop. Actually, you can just type wireframe for maybe tools, and they'll bring you so many of them. You can see they have so many options here. You can use Mockflow, you can use Zapier. There are so many. You can use mockups, you can use wireframe.cc, you can use Balsamic. There are so many. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for. So today I'm going to just use a Word document, and you can use the same. You can use a Word document on your laptop or desktop. You can use image editor if you have and you're good at it. You can use it, or you can use Photoshop if you have downloaded and you have it on your laptop. That is if you're into graphic design and those sort of stuff. So I'll be using the Word document. So let's say I have a client who is into hospitality and he wants to establish a restaurant, and he has sent me several websites just to give me an idea of what he wants. So let's say he likes this one here, and so I go and I check. I can check how their layout looks like, how their different fonts are like, the images they use, different navigation links and stuff. I can see here that's how their menu looks like. So I have that. I can see this one here as well. So just to get an idea of what your client might be expecting from you. Okay, can see another one. So I can see they are different, they vary, and they have different layouts, they have different typographies. Okay, so once I have gone through several of them, Now I can be able to come up with the wireframe. So to do the wireframe on Word document, I'll use different components that I have here. So mostly I'm going to use the shapes. So I can start with that one here. And let's say this is my header for my website. Okay. So I could decide to change the color. I can just use whatever I have here. I could use shape filler, and whichever color I want, I could just change to that. Okay. So based on the typography that you came up with, you might have chosen the colors for different things. For the body, for the header, for the footer, you might have decided on what color you want to use. Okay. So once I do that, I need text here, and let's say I have a home like that. So I'm going to just edit this so that it's at the center, and whichever font family you chose, you could use it. Let's say I use that one. If you chose different font color, you can also go for it. Whichever works for you. I could decide to make it bold, I could increase the size like that. So instead of doing more, I can just copy this one and I can paste like that, and I could change, let's say this is menu, and I have another one, this contractors. Okay, like that. So I have my header. Okay, I could decide I want to have a logo. So if you have a logo, you can actually just put it. If not, you could just use a box. That one can't be seen. Yeah, that one can be seen. Then we have another one here. Just to illustrate, this is an image. Okay, so now I'm done with my header. So I could go to the body. Let's say if you have images, you can just insert them. So next, I want to have maybe a banner here like that. I could change this color. I could decide maybe I want it to be like that. So of course you're going to use an image for the banner. So okay. So if you have more, let's say I want something here, I could put maybe I want contractors here, all those kind of stuff. You can include them. Okay. So below here, let's say I want to have some text here. Okay. And that text maybe I have about us, and I'm just going to get some text here. So I'm going to use this text. So you must already have your own content. Okay, so I could also apply the font that I came up with. So let's say I'm using Cambria, or whichever you came up with. So you must already have your font already with you. Okay. Then I want to have an image here. Then I want to have another content here. So what I'm gonna do is just copy this. Let me reduce this font. It's too much. Okay, have something like that. Then I want to have my footer. I want to have footer there. And the footer, I want it to have some text here. So I have copyright text here. Okay. Then I have my social media accounts here. Okay. And since I want them to be, maybe that's for my Facebook account. And then I have, cause this is a restaurant kind of stuff. And the next one I want it to be, let's say, trip advisory, a link to it. Or Yelp, trip advisory or Yelp. Then I can have the third one, and let's say it's LinkedIn account. Okay, so just like that, and I have my wireframe is ready. Okay, so if you have any questions about wireframe, feel free to send me a message.